بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hello viewers, and this is Dr. Zhu, and welcome to the show Alive with Dr. Zhu, and you are watching 247online.tv. So today we are going to talking about anxiety. Now tell me who don't have anxiety, because I know that all of you do. And this is one of the things which is very much in the back of the mind of everyone. Anxiety. So let's discuss this in our 4 segments. One is this: what's happening in the mind, what is the root cause of anxiety, and we're going to talk about why people eat, anxiety reasons, and then we're going to talk about how to move to actually release anxiety, and how to rest, and what to do with your breathing to do something with your anxiety and manage it. So anxiety originates from, believe it or not, that your mind being in the future. It is very, very common when we don't like the present moment, is what is happening right here, right now. We try to put our heads somewhere else because it's so painful to be here, right now. So as you can see, most of the people actually, they take their head and they displace it somewhere in the future, and whatever is happening in the present moment, they have no clue about that. Now, how many times when you are traveling somewhere, you're driving somewhere, you cannot actually recall what happened on the way because your mind was somewhere else and dreaming about something? How many times you see children sitting in school like this and their mind is actually somewhere else? So I really encourage you, look into what are those things what you really don't like about the present moment, and because this could be a very big reason for later on in your adulthood for heart diseases. Most of the things, anxiety will be triggering the fear that you don't like something here, so you want to be somewhere else. And anxiety on another level is coming that something is projected out in the future which never happened yet, and you are afraid that it is going to happen. So if it's something bad and you project it outwards in the future, that you are going to start to develop an illusion which is never happened yet, and you start to develop a bad feeling, an anxiety, and the fear of that situation. Now know that every time you are afraid of something and you start saying to yourself that I don't want that to happen, it is going to happen, because the brain doesn't know the word don't. So if you start saying to yourself, I don't want this to happen, then start catching yourself and rephrase it and say, what do you want to happen instead? So this is very important to look into, because if you stay in your anxiety state, your heart rate is always going, your metabolism is always going, and highly likely you are in a state where you're always running away from a lion. That is a position when your body actually stops relying on outside food and always eats your own body up. So very hard when you are in this state to actually start losing weight if you are actually up for that. So this was on a little bit on anxiety, and let's continue in the rest of the segments. You are watching Alive with Dr. Zhu. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Thank you. Welcome back to the show, and this is Alive with Dr. Zhu, and you are watching the segments on anxiety. And our second segment today is about eating, emotional eating, that is, because most people who are anxious, they actually using food to stop anxiety. The mind is racing so much that you need something to make you feel better. Now, what are the foods, just to know what most people eat when they are anxious, because they don't even know that they are anxious. But if you start craving sweets, you start craving sweet and sour foods, salty and sour foods, and sweet and salty foods, and the foods are crunchy, or you need to be chewing a lot, that these will be actually the foods which releasing your anxiety. So if these are the foods that you are eating a lot and craving a lot, know that you are in an anxiety state. So you can stop yourself, interrupt yourself, and look into, do you really want to eat? Is this going to solve your problem? Or looking into what is the problem, what is the anxiety, what is the fear is all about, that your head is in the future. So it's important that whenever you are in an anxiety state, you stop and breathe and look at that food and evaluate that food. That is this going to help you or not? Are you really hungry or not? So what do you want? Because in a moment your anxiety state will slow down. It will be much easier to make a decision objectively, do you want to eat or not? Now there are two extremes for people who are anxious. Some of them eat and some of them just stop eating altogether. Because the moment the body is in an anxiety state, as I mentioned before, you are going, your body physiologically going on a survival mode. And a survival mode, it feels, as I said, you're running away from a lion, you are always being chased. So your body stops relying on the externally coming in foods, and you are going to be using your own body. So that means using up your muscles. So most people who are constantly anxious is going to be lean, who stop eating and they don't eat, because all the muscles are used up for energy, for the carbohydrate, which basically needed for your brain. So we call this very interestingly as auto-cannibalism. That means your own body is eating yourself alive. Now this is a very big base for actually having a broken down immune system and catching a lot of illnesses and colds, because the immune system very simply is not functioning. Another part is affected here is your digestion. So it's a lot of food being just leaving around in your intestines and giving you intestinal gas and bloating, because it's very hard to digest, because your enzymes are also used up for energy during the time when you are not eating and you feel like you're running away from a lion. So these are the things to look out for before you would be eating when you are anxious, and evaluate what is happening. If you need communication skills to resolve your problems, learn those. Stand up for the people, you need to say something. If you know that if you can just wait, things will calm down, wait out when you can insert whatever you wanted to say, things will resolve itself 90% of the time. And then when things cool down, you will have a different perspective, you will be able to see it objectively, and you don't need to actually reach for foods. So I believe that this is a good little tip for you. And whenever you are eating, and if you are regularly eating by schedule, you won't need to be eating on any other way and for emotional reasons. And if you are anxious and you stop eating during the day, and at night you are eating more than half of the food what you should be eating, know that this is called a night eating syndrome. And this is the best way to get fat, because all of the food which you are eating basically sitting in your intestines, not digesting, and whatever is digesting is turning into fat and is going into your fat storages. Now again, ask yourself, what do you want? And if during the day you can eat, even if it's something of a stressful situation, you can have oatmeal bars, fruits, the roasted chickpeas, or anything which is fiber rich, a wholemeal bread, just like a piece of toast, and with some jam, and even bread. Anything small which will keep your intestines going and your stomach, that would be something very good to keep your immunity system in your gut, in your intestines intact, so your body stays strong. So not being hungry is not a way to look at, because if more than 5 hours passed and you are still not hungry, that means your body is under anxiety. So look into this, have your regular meals, think about what are you anxious about, and resolve the issues, and have your regular meals and your snacks so your body stays healthy. So this was Dr. Zhu on the Eating Alive section, and stay tuned, I'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. This is Alive with Dr. Zhu, and today we are talking about anxiety, and we are coming to our third segment, which is talking about how to move and exercise to release anxiety and manage your anxiety. Now, as you know, exercise is an excellent way to manage your anxiety, and if you are going to be walking and running and doing any cardio exercise, it will greatly help you with your anxiety. Now, when should you do that? Because some people like to exercise at night, and it helps them to calm down after the entire day of being anxious. Now, if you cannot sleep after exercising in the evening, that means your cortisol level, the stress level, is still high and you won't be able to sleep. So that means your sleeping will be delayed until very late hours, and that's actually countereffective for you. So if you can, bring your exercise in the morning, early in the morning, so you can manage your entire day much better doing your cardio sessions early. It's a better fat burning anyway. And do a little bit of yoga exercises and postures later in the evening, because that will help you much more to manage your stress during the day. Plus, if there was any stressful things that you needed to manage, it will help you in the evening. So what are these positions? Now, as we know, first and most important is nostril breathing. So you're breathing through the nose into your abdomen while you are doing these poses. Now, every pose, what I'm going to show you here, is some sort of a back bend. Back bend meaning that your upper body is opening up and you are bending backwards. Now, I'm going to show you different positions for here. And the most important when you actually do these exercises is that you're holding your abdominal muscles tight, and then also the gluteus, your butt muscles are holding tight, because these will be making sure that your back is not arching. Arching your back too much will hurt your back. So be careful that you do only as much, as a little bit, so this is not hurting in your back, so your back muscles stay healthy, but you still get the benefits of bending back and the deep breathing. Now, why is this important? Because when you are in a back bend position and you're deep breathing, your lungs will be massaging the adrenals. And the adrenal is an organ which is top of your kidney, and normally it's here. And if the adrenal is the lungs is massaging your adrenals, that means if it's overproducing the stress hormone cortisol, which is actually the anxiety itself, then it starts to tone it down. Toning down means that the overproducing cortisol from the hyperactive adrenals will start to calm down. So it will be less and less and less cortisol will be produced. So this is actually, these are the exercises, what you're seeing over here. Make sure that you balance holding these positions about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. You stay there and just deep breathe. Now make sure you counter these exercises out with some sorts of a little bit of a forward bend or the child's pose, what you're seeing right here, which is sitting on your knee and bringing your hands forward. Now these are excellent way to actually start your day as well, and finishing your day even better. So that will calm you down and make everything even. So this was our little exercise session. So whichever you're gonna be choosing, even if it's some music, because for your cardio session, most people like to have music. And when you are in an anxiety state, use a little bit of club music or techno music. The only reason I'm saying that, because this will help your anxiety. It will catch you on the anxiety level and slowly bring it down on the even beat. And techno music and club music has an even beat, and that even beat will get you from the frazzled anxiety state for beating your body almost basically on the same beat level as the club music. So give it a shot, because once you are anxious and you're trying to calm yourself down with slow music, it's impossible. First you have to catch yourself on the level what the anxiety rate is, the frazzled, and you can slowly get yourself into this slower music. And the slower music will be great for the resting part. So this was Dr. Zhu, and for the moving for managing anxiety. Stay tuned, we will be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. You are watching Alive with Dr. Zhu, and today we are talking about anxiety. And we are on our fourth segment, which is our resting part, how to manage anxiety, how to manage your mind using your breathing. Now you already know what is anxiety, that you need to be looking into that. You know what happens when you are eating more food is going to get you even more anxious. And then you just learn what kind of exercises you can do. Now if there is no chance to do any kind of exercise, there is something you can still do, and that is your breathing. So every time you take a deep breath, in every moment there is only one breath can be taken. So just by focusing on your breathing, you can bring yourself back into the present moment and just keep breathing, and just watch your breathing. Your mind will calm down and you will come back to the present moment, and you will realize that your mind just went out and now you arrived back to the present moment. Now, what else can be done? Now, besides the deep breathing, as the first thing that you start watching your mind, you start watching the crazy thoughts going around, just like you would be watching the clouds in the sky. And you start actually, if you want to count your breathing 3 to 6, is also very possible. But the only thing you want to do is just stay there and breathe and watch what is happening. Watch your breathing, watch it objectively. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Doesn't matter what it will be. Just watch it, what's happening, and start accepting it. Because just by doing that, you will be training yourself to accept the present moment as it is and start looking at objectively. So even just to withdraw yourself for a moment and take a mental minute and just start watching your breathing, it will help you to come to terms of acceptance. Now this is number one, and if you can do this for a few minutes, that will prepare you for the next breathing exercise, which is called the alternate nostril breathing. Now alternate nostril breathing means, and I'm showing it to you here just the way it is, that you're breathing in through your left nostrils. So for me this is my left nostril, so since you are a viewer, I'm going to show you in a mirror position. So you're going to be breathing in, and you are going to closing this nostril and breathe out. Then breathe in through the right, close the right, and exhale through the left. So then again, you start breathing in the left, closing the left nostril, exhaling through the right. Inhale through the right, close the right, and exhale left. So just continue doing that again. Inhale, left, close it, exhale right. Inhale right, close it, and exhale. So continue doing this for 5 minutes to 6 minutes, whichever shape and form or time limit you have yourself, and just continue watching what's happening. The moment you start doing this, your brain again starts to calm down. Your two brain hemispheres will be talking much better to each other, so you're reconnecting. And when you start breathing again after, you will notice a very big difference, because all of a sudden clarity comes. More air will be coming in through your nostrils, because all of a sudden now both of your nostrils are open, which is normally one nostril dominates for 90 minutes and crosses over and dominates, the other one will be dominating for the next 90 minutes. So now both of them are open. There's one more thing to this which brings anxiety down, is with this breathing, that your blood chemistry changes a little bit and a buffering mechanism will begin, and that bicarbonate, which is the byproduct of that, goes to the brain and it starts to bring your blood back down into the more alkaline level from the acidic level, and this wonderful thing of bicarbonate will bring a calming effect to your brain. So if you have 5 to 10 minutes or 6 to 7 minutes for yourself, please do that. Get into your breathing exercises and you will calm down, you will see that. So instead of reaching for food, reaching for cigarettes or any other addictive things to stop anxiety, actually you can just stop, sit down, accept it, that anxiety is there, look into what it is, and then start resolving it with the tools you have today. So thank you so much for watching. This was Alive with Dr. Zhu on the show on evaluating the anatomy of anxiety. So I will see you guys next time, and you've been watching 247online.tv. Thank you.